Okay, so this is part three. I'm on level three of the staff trainee training program. Halfway there, just halfway to making junior staff. Um, and one day, a junior staff member approached me and said, "Hey, I see that we have Sunday off. Do you want to get together?" Yes, I do. That would be good. So this junior was from out of town, and he lived in a foster home not too far from where I lived. As a matter of fact, it was a 10-minute drive. So on Sunday, right after church, I drive out to his house and we talk about what we want to do. He has a foster brother that's still in the program, and so the three of us were going to do something together. And we decided that we were going to go down to a county park that was about a mile and a half or so away from his house. Well, I wasn't appropriately dressed to be running around tossing frisbee or football or anything at the park. I was still dressed in my Sunday clothes, so I said, "Hey, I'll drive home, get changed, I'll come right back here, and then we'll go from there." Okay. As I'm pulling out of the driveway, I have this gut-wrenching thought that crosses my mind. They're going to leave as soon as I do. And I just basically tried to just dismiss that as a head game, paranoia, whatever, not trusting, not being a trustful person. I just didn't feel like I could trust anybody at that time. And so I drove home. I got changed. It was better, like I said, about a 10-minute drive. And before I left the house, I called just to let them know, "Hey, I'm on my way. I'll be there in 10 minutes and we'll go." So when I called, the foster mother answers the phone. I said, "Hey, Mom, is my buddy there?" "Oh, no, Don, they already left." "Well, how long ago did they leave?" "Oh, they left right after you did." I can't even begin to describe how I felt in that moment. I was angry, and I was pretty hurt by that because I realized it wasn't a head game. It wasn't paranoia. It was real. I was spot on with what would happen. I thought about for a minute about just driving out to the park and trying to find them, but this is a county park. This is a pretty good size park, and the idea of me actually being able to find them in this park was just not going to be possible. So I decided that I wasn't going to go and that I would deal with this tomorrow because I knew we both worked the next day. So the next day, I find him out in the hallway just outside of the junior office, and across the hall were the intake rooms. And I said, "Hey, we need to talk. Can we go into an intake room?" And he didn't want to go into an intake room. He was like, "No, we can just talk right here in the hallway." Well, I knew why he didn't want to go into an intake room. Because he knew that if I took him into an intake room, I was going to confront him very loudly, very assertively, very clearly blast him out of the water for what he did. And he thought, if I can keep him out here in the hallway, he'll dial it back and it won't be so bad. He was wrong. He was wrong because I said, "Okay." And then I proceeded to just blast him. And I wasn't going to back down. And I probably yelled at him for a good 2 minutes. And it got the attention of a senior staff member that was on the other side. His office was on the other side of the junior staff office. And he heard me from way over there. And he stepped out and he was like, "What in the world is going on? Why are you screaming and yelling out in the hallway?" I apologized for the disruption. I told him that I just had some things on my mind that I needed to discuss with this guy, and I'm sorry. And I walked away. So at this point, I'm just done. I'm pretty much given up on trusting anybody anymore. I'm done with reaching out to people to try to be friends with, only to get rejected. I was done with it. So what I did at that point was I just really started to work hard on moving up the rest of the levels of trainee and become a junior. And I thought that that would be the solution. If I became a junior, then we would have to get along better. We would be on an equal playing ground here. We wouldn't be me down here and them up here. We would be equals. And I thought at that point, things will get better. What I didn't realize is that, and I didn't realize that at the time, and it took me a long time even after I left staff, that the fact remained, and the fact was, none of the juniors and the senior staff members had any intention of ever promoting me to junior staff. They weren't going to do it. It wasn't going to happen. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that I should have just put in a 2-week notice and leave, or I should have put in a letter of resignation and resign. I didn't know that. I didn't know the meaning of the word quit back then. When I was focused on accomplishing a goal, I went after it no matter what. No matter who would tell me otherwise, I was going to accomplish it. And I didn't realize that they had absolutely no intention of ever letting me become a junior staff member. But I persisted, and I did the best I could. But things were just, in the next couple of weeks, months, things are going to get worse, much worse.